So I'm so excited that I've got so many ideas of my online course. And then the paralysis sets in. Sometimes I just feel I've got so much information in my head, I just want to get it all out. But for some reason, there's a stickiness between what's in my head and what actually comes out. I'm fine when I'm doing one-to-one, I'm fine when I'm live in a group, but when I want to try and write something and I want to try and get an online course where it's just me and the technology, I freeze. I get a kind of a paralysis. I'm really battling to know what that's all about. And that's exactly what's happening to me now. I've got all these kind of ideas of the different kind of courses I want to do, and boom, on comes the paralysis. In fact, we know from a great book called The Paradox of Choice, Why More is Less by Barry Schwartz, and he says that actually eliminating choices can greatly reduce anxiety. So maybe I've just got too much choice in my head. Maybe that's the reason. There are a couple of things in his book that he talks about. One is being either a maximizer or a satisficer. Not a satisfizer, a satisficer. That is a made-up word from the word satisfy and suffice. So am I a maximizer or a satisfizer? Well, a maximizer is similar to a perfectionist, someone who needs to be assured that their every decision was the best that could be made. So in some ways I am a bit of a maximizer, because I kind of get paralyzed that maybe my stuff is just not good enough. On the other hand, we have such a thing as a satisficer. A satisficer has criteria and standards, so it's still good quality. But a satisficer is not worried about the possibility that there might be something better. I kind of call this the MVP, minimum viable product. In other words, if it's ready to go, if it's at least at its minimum level for rolling out, well then that's good enough, and we should be able to roll out with it. So am I a satisfizer or a maximizer? Well, I really want to be a satisficer. That's kind of my aim. But when it comes to it, I tend to be a maximizer. So it's kind of caught in the middle there between what I want to be and what I find that I am. So I kind of wonder if it's kind of caused by old childhood experiences, like I've spoken before about my shame, when, I have this past experience that I don't really think about too much, but when I do, I bring it in, that past experience into the present, and I re-experience this in my body sensations and my emotions. And maybe that's what's stopping me. It's that shame. Me forgetting that song when I was a child, the shame I consciously remember, and it doesn't actually bother me that much as I consciously remember it. All right, so I was 8 years old, I didn't remember a song, so what? But the sensations of the fear, it seems my body remembers, and it's really, really strong, and it kind of holds me back. And what is that shame all about that's holding me back? Well, I've got the feeling that it's shame of maybe losing my reputation. So I have this kind of imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome is, I have a good reputation, I'm good at what I do, but I have thoughts of what happens if all this material is absolute rubbish. I mean, what will this do to my reputation? I might lose everything I've been working for. And that brings on that feeling of shame, that forgetting in front of the audience, that embarrassment. And I have these emotions of sadness and frustration and fear. And yeah, that embarrassment, that kind of future projection of embarrassment. Oh my goodness, how can I ever face anybody again? But most of all, I'm feeling it in my body. That irritability, that paralysis that I get. It's really, really strong. And so that's where I am today. I have all these ideas. I really want to set it out. I really want to plan it out. And then I want to actually do it. But I have this irritability. I have this paralysis that sets in. And so that's what I'm going to be working on this week. I want to really, really make an attempt from that committed action that I promised to get out there and break through. Even though it's painful and even though I feel paralyzed, I want to break through this and actually get something out. Let's see if I can do that.